Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, April 23rd. Awesome. So I'm coming to you from Miami, and our oil of the day is Console. So I'm using the Touch blend of Console over the heart for sure, and then at your wrists so that you can really smell it all day. So the comforting blend is all about reminding us that it's going to get better. So I know there's a lot of people who are dealing with physical symptoms and emotional symptoms right now. And so it's going to get better is the huge message coming. Our raw and overwhelming emotions are temporary. So just remind yourself of that. Take a really deep breath of the Console blend in, and it's also called the Comforting Blend by doTERRA, and it is so powerful. It's, these emotions that we have when they are so overwhelming, they're really designed to allow a release, a huge, strong release, which is uncomfortable because it feels like it's out of control. However, that's how we get rid of these overpowering emotions. Allow it, because peace is on the other side. The Console blend brings peace and comfort and understanding, compassion, and empathy, and it helps us to surrender into it. So it's one that I also will literally put on my pillow right as I am going to sleep. If I'm feeling sad, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, if I'm feeling upset, I know for people also who are in pain that this is a good one to use when you're in pain. So really smell it in and enjoy that. Okay, so a part of why I feel that, again, I just have been hearing from a lot of sources, and for myself as well, just feeling a lot of overwhelming emotions or just pain challenges over these last couple of days. Pluto has now moved retrograde, and we now have 3 different planetary bodies that are in retrograde. Mercury's out of retrograde, but these others are in. And the big one is Pluto. And this energy of Pluto being in retrograde actually helps us to accept our past and to love all of who we are. So it's really not allowing us to keep hiding and hiding those dark or embarrassing parts of ourselves. And so that can feel uncomfortable. And so welcome. That's going to go on for the next 5 months. Not so intensely. I feel like it's not in the very beginning. We kind of have to deal with it, and then it smooths out. And good morning, Melissa, and good morning, Tracy. It's good to see you guys here. So we will use that comforting blend, which is, like I said, the oil of consolation and consoling, and it's really helpful. So I got a new card deck. So these are kind of different. This is, they're called inquiry cards, and these inquiry cards are made by a woman named Sylvia Nibley and Jim Hayes, and I actually got to meet them last week. They're out of Salt Lake City, and inquirycards.com is if they resonate with you, that you would want. That's how you get them. Anyway, what is so cool about these cards is that they're questions. There's 45, I believe, of them, and she keeps making new decks as well, or new add-ons to them. And they ask questions. And so what she got downloaded into after like 18 years ago, she said. So these have been kind of swirling around in her consciousness for a long time. Is that, we have a habit of looking outside of ourselves for our answers, and this brings us right to the core of our own answers and reminding us that they're inside of us. So when you have a question, which most of us have on an ongoing basis, like why are things not moving faster for me? Why is my business not growing fast enough for me? Why are my kids behaving the way that they're behaving? Why are my relationships so challenging, etc.? These can go on in our head. And what I love about these cards is that they bring us right to the core of what's going on. And so there is this art of inquiry, and it allows the inner opening that a meaningful question can create. It literally allows the pathway of your next moves. So I asked the question this morning for all of us, how can we most powerfully move forward in our lives? So that was the question that came in for our whole community of people who are watching this, and then if you share it with people, or and there's thousands of us. So when this community, what came in was, how can we most powerfully move forward? And the card that came in was, what's the most loving choice? So what are the most loving choices that we can make in terms of moving forward? So these questions give pause. They make you pause. They don't give you an answer. You have the answers. So you know how the other cards that we have feel like they're confirmation many times? These cards don't really offer that. It's a whole different way of going into your system. And so it's interesting because when I was using them at the beautiful retreat that I had last weekend, what I realized was that these cards would bring up emotions, actually. And sometimes they would actually make me feel heavy or angry or upset afterwards, because they were like pushing my buttons. And so that's actually really powerful. So what's the most loving choice that you can make as you move forward? So that is really what we are looking at with that card. Okay, so something to think about. And actually, that's exactly what we do with these cards, is that we just sit with it. We just sit with that question. So you can write that down and then just sit with it for the week and see how that goes. Okay, so on to our other new deck, Sacred Rebels Guidebook and cards. What we got this morning was Dream a Beautiful Dream. So what this card is about is that the urge to create is the same within you as it is with the universe and our universal creator. And so it also has the same magical ability to draw harmony in to being and beauty into the chaos. So when we're dreaming big dreams and beautiful dreams, we're actually bringing happiness and joy and pleasure into our lives, which helps us to manifest these dreams even faster. So sometimes, or I feel like we've been told somewhat by society that beauty is somehow the superficial thing, and it's not really a valid thing to go for or look for. But what I've found, and then what I also feel like these cards are then also reminding us of, is that genuine beauty actually brings in harmony and grace, and it brings in creativity, and it allows us to create this harmony in our life. So sometimes when we look to nature, instead of, again, to things outside of ourselves, but inside of ourselves, and our bodies are really the most amazing part of nature. Hi, Winnie. I don't know what he's trying to say, maybe nature. Again, he's reminding us of nature and what puppies do in the mornings. Anyway, so it brings in a flow from within. We have so much beauty inside of us, and so much playfulness and joy. And so when we look inside, again, like the inquiry cards are reminding us, and when we look to nature, which is really reflected, our insides are reflected in nature, right? There's different fruits that look like our organ systems and trees that look like our lungs and all of this. There's so much beauty there, and that this beauty is endless and boundless and quirky and fantastic. So give yourself permission to feel and to be beautiful in all of these ways, and that's going to actually bring incredible harmony into your life. So, yeah, so I love that. I love that reminder, and I love that that is, again, when we choose our most loving choice, that's the next card that came up, was maybe choose beauty. Okay, third and final card, Badger, which is about perseverance. Dig in, see it through to the completion. So these power animal oracle cards are always like very like bam to the point, and so don't give up so easily is what this card is reminding us of. Be more patient, more persistent than you've ever been before. And again, I think that because Pluto is in retrograde and we are being called to accept our past and love ourselves for who we are no matter what, that this badger is coming in to remind us to persevere through that. Hang in there is what the badger is reminding us of, and take our time and no need to hurry. Don't give up. You really are almost there. So that's what I've got for today. And I just am holding you all in my heart and in my soul, and just wish and hope for a beautiful, beautiful week for all of you this week, that's filled with beauty, with acceptance, with surrender, with reminders of how to lovingly move forward in your life. And I will see you in a week.